Salam family, welcome. Kembo natatanzambe ya Mazulu kumfumu kwa kuisa. Now, let us start. There is a prophetic move happening, and in order for the black church to be relevant, it has to embrace the truth that the Messiah is black and that we are the true Hebrews, the dry bones awakening. The church has been promoting prosperity gospel, false tithings doctrine, pagan image of the Messiah, and Christmas. The true image of Christ is black, which most black churches don't promote or teach for fear of losing the tithe money. The misinterpretation of the real Messiah and identity of the true Hebrews has to be known. The prosperity gospel is not addressing what is missing in the black church, which is the true identity of African American Bantus. As we are in the end times, it is high time for the black church to awake from sleep and end the nonsense that goes in with black churches. Prophecy is being fulfilled. The dry bones are awakening. The real black liberation theology is the identity of the true Hebrew and Isaiah Congo. Now, we will talk tonight about the white Jesus and his cross. Now, as everyone knows that every politician, every musician, all of them are Christians. If you go to okay. This is the symbol that the most of the musicians have. We will start with this symbol. This is the symbol that you will find everywhere if people want to show that these people are believers. This is the sign that they show that the Messiah was hung on the cross. And you will see singers like this man here have become very, very popular just to show that, yeah, it's like it's blasphemy against the Messiah. The cross is not a sign of Tatanzambi. The cross is mostly used for paganism. And it is not new. Before we come to the revelation of Isaiah, we will start with the pagan cross. If we go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Now, and Tatanzambi will scatter you among all peoples from one end to the other earth. There you shall serve other gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your fathers have known. You see, so we should bow down in front of the cross, in front of the white Jesus, in front of Islam, and in front of Muhammad. The cross has a lot of faces. We have the cross from Hitler. You have different kind of crosses. You see? But it was never a symbol from Tatanzambi. You see? So, where does this cross come from? This is the question that we have. Now, it is very simple. Let us go to the book of Habakkuk. 2:18 to 19. So, now, what profit is an idol when its maker has shaped it a metal image, a teacher of lies, for its maker trusts in his own creation when he makes speechless idols, whom to him who says to a wooden thing, awake, to a silent stone, arise, can this teach? Behold, it is overlaid with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in it. You see? So that's why the Tanzambis say that we are praying to a God that can't help us, because today many of our church members, many people worship the white Jesus or Muhammad, and then they also worship idols like They have symbols like the white Jesus at home and photos and crosses, you know, or also the pagan symbol of Mecca, the Kaaba in Arabia. And this makes us weak. If we go to Jeremiah 2:11, the Most High say, has a nation changed its gods, when they are no gods? But my people have changed the glory for that which does not profit. This means we are praying today, the most of us are praying to something that can't help us because it's not ours. And this is that what we have to know. You see? So the cross is not the symbol of Yah. Yeah? Okay. He said you should worship in front and bow down in front of the cross, in front of the white Jesus. This was the revelation. So where does this symbol come from? If we go to the book of Ezekiel, this is Ezekiel 5:11. Therefore, as the life declares Tatanzambi, surely because you have defiled my sanctuary with all your detestable things, with all your abomination, therefore I will withdraw my eyes, will no more spare, and I will have no pity. So, what happens? How did they do this abomination? Let us go to Judge 6. Judge 6:13 talks about the abomination. Then the man of the town said, Yosh, bring out your son that he may die, for he has broken down the altar of Baal and cut down the Asherah beside it. So the cross is a symbol that was in the how can I explain? The cross was in the altar, a symbol in the altar of Baal. You see? And the cross is the Asherah. This is the cross. And it was in the altar of Baal. So this means the cross is not from Egypt. The cross is from Babylon. The cross is a very old symbol. Okay? It is not new. The cross didn't come with Isaiah. Also here in Deuteronomy 16:21, you shall not plant any tree as an Asherah beside the altar of Tatanzambi, your God, that you shall make. So this is that what they did, you know, and that's why Tatanzambi said, no, you should not do that. No crosses. You see, no photos of any gods in the altar. But our forefathers, they did it. It's nothing new. Now, what happens? The Most High had to show our people who He is. This is why we are here. But before that, He say very important things. We will read it in Matthew 24 and 24. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. So he say that a new person, new Christ will come, new prophets will come, a new teaching, a new gospel, you see. And he also said that me you have received not, but the one that will come on my name you will receive. And this is that why we are now today trying to finding out who we really are and how we can worship the Most High truly. Because true Messiah, true Jesus, this Jesus, you will have no chance for salvation. Salvation comes from the Most High. True belief. Now, if we go also to 2 Thessalonians, now let us start. There's so many verses that shows us the white Jesus, but let us start directly with the book that I have prepared. Now, I hope you have understood the cross. There are so many verses about the cross and the false things in the scriptures, but now let us go directly to now here are some books. Here is now the white Jesus. Where does he come from? Now, how did the white Jesus and the Hebrews become white? It's a good question. Of course, they didn't really, except in the imagination and then the lying histories of albino people, who, for probably practical reasons, decided that Hebrews and the blacks who originally lived in and ruled over the countries they took over as results of 30 years war on the continent and the British Civil Wars of the 1600s. These were, of course, actual race wars with religion as the focal point. These wars pitted Europe's ancient black and Catholic rulers against the rebellious albinos who had in mass been chased out of their homelands in Asia by the Mongols and into the black lands of Europe. So, black Europe was never densely populated, so this massive influx of millions upon millions of Asian albinos was sure to cause a sea change in Europe. And of course, it did. It just took over 2,000 years for it to happen. The thing that I want to say here is they could not stay in Africa. They had to leave Africa. The albinos. I made a big thing with some of. Let me show you. I've posted a woman. I've posted a woman with an albino child. I have asked the community, is this child a black child or is this child an albino child? Because it is a black woman that feeds this albino child. And many, really many, was like, it is an albino child. But if I say it was the albinos, that the Most High has said, go out of the land, many people would not understand. Even in the scriptures, in the book of Enoch, you will find how frustrated the family was. After seeing an albino was born. Esau, the same. The Most High said, Jacob, I will not make you again to become white. Do you know these things? So many people do not understand that a white man today comes from a black. So a white man is a black man. A white man is the black man. A white man is the black man. And this is that what the people never will understand because of slavery. That's why you have to go to the spiritual aspect back. Why did Jacob become white? Why did the Most High say to the white people, go out of the land, of the promised land? Go to Asia. Go to Europe. Okay? But never stay in the promised land. Why did he do that? Now, it's because it is a curse. It is a curse. Okay? Normally, you should find, it starts with leprosy. Leprosy is not a good translation. We call it maba. It's like you have some points, it becomes white. And you have to find a doctor, Nganga Nzambi, a prophet. And he should pray over you so that your color should come back. And you can find it also, you can find this also in, Massa came from the mountains, and then he went to the children of Israel, and he took his hand out of the bosom, the hands becomes white. And he put it back, the hands, was black again. You see? Just to show you that the Most High is showing you, normally there is no difference of colors, but there is a difference in spirit. Yeah? He made the white man to become white. It is a curse. And many people does not know that. So the albino is your brother. The white man, he is your brother. He did not come from the stars. He did not fall from the moons like he's describing himself. No, he is cursed. He is cursed, cursed, cursed. That's why I could not answer your things, because many people would say, oh, this man is arrogant. No, that's why I answer a little bit. It was a test just to see how many things we know about white people. Now, let us go back. The intricacies of what actually happens in Europe is still well hidden by the albinos. But we do know that the explosion of the last albino tribe from Asia, the Turks, was the last nail in the coffin for black Europe. I make a stop here. That's why they call them also the Aryans. I will go ahead. Fortunately for us, the Turks been chased out of Asia, and the subsequent machination in the West is well converted by the University of Calgary in the one-line course titled The End of Europe's Middle Ages, which is designed to assist students engaged in Renaissance reformations in early modern studies who lack a background in medieval European history, intended to provide a brief overview of the conditions at the end of Europeans' Middle Ages. The tutorial is presented in a series of chapters that summarize the economic, political, religious, and intellectual environment of the 14th and 15th century. In the main, the tutorial is rudimentary, but the part of the Turks is quite good. Now, let us go to the religion. We do not know what the albinos' religious concept were when they were in Asia, but they their hatreds for the creator, blacks, is well documented in surviving pages of the Rig Veda, the Hindu Bible of sorts, which is a hybrid of albino, Aryan, like I have told you, invader, and native black Dravidian history in hymns. Now, like I have told you, they have such an hatred because they had to go out of the promised land. It started with Cain and Abel. It started with Cain and Abel. The white color is a sign, is a curse. Okay? Now, as well, they went to Asia. And there in Asia, we do not really know what kind of religion they had. But because they were like atheists. But they had such an hatred against the Creator. Every day, ordinary people makes thousands upon thousands of new white people, some with straight hair, some without. It's called albinism. Now, even today, you will find white people, okay? White people, albinism is a white man, okay? That comes from blacks. As the Asian albinos crossed into Eastern Europe, the black Romans forced them to convert to Christianity, Catholicism. Later, one of the Turkish tribes, the Khazars, converted to Judaism. Christianity seemed to serve them well until they had gathered enough manpower to take over. Then it became clear that, like every black civilization that came before, they needed their own religion for albinos to rally round. Thus, the creation of Protestantism, a new religion for albinos. Today, the only Protestant European countries or areas with significant Protestant population are Germany. From there comes also Martin Luther, okay? Home of the Black Holy Roman Empire. I have showed you Mozart. I have showed you also the other componist, Beethoven. Home of the Black Holy Roman Empire in Britain. Home of the deposed Black House of Stuart. Both albino German and albino Britain were the major players in the 16th race wars. The racist United States albino population is mainly made up of albino Germans and albino British people. Now, this is also very important. Here you can see that the white people especially comes from the Germans and from the British, Anglo-Saxon. And of them comes Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, and the eastern, northern, and western parts of Switzerland also have Protestant populations. Okay? Now, the rest of the albinos Europe went back to Catholicism once albinos had taken control of the Catholic Church. As a point of interest, roughly 50% of the Americans are Protestants. Now, this is also very, very important now. First, we are going now to slavery before we will start to bring forth more about the Messiah. Just to show you, because it is easy if someone comes and say there is no Messiah, but if you see the tombs and the scriptures and what the people have written and painted, we will have a better understanding. Now, slaves and blacks, which brings up a very strange predilection among Russians and slaves. In general, unlike all other albinos, they have steadfastly refused to destroy all of the paintings, of their past black kings, and refused to create fake white images of religious icons. Almost all of their black saints and other religious figures are still depicted as black, true with Caucasian features. But the most amazing thing is that the Russians still display portraits of Black Peter the Great and his son on the Hermitage Museum site. We have no idea why they do that conscience. It's because they do not want to lose this kind of, it's history, Why people do not like to lose their history, even if they see black people. Like you could see it in Bonn village. They have black Moors everywhere. So you can see a portrait of Black Peter. But you can see how they painted him a little bit white, okay. But now again, with that out the way, let us now go back to see what the Hebrews really look like. The earliest authentic pictures of real Hebrews that we have date back to before Isaiah. They are Assyrian reliefs showing Hebrews and others that they conquered in pictorial signs detailing the battles fought with associated text. These reliefs decorated Assyrian palaces and were no doubt used to gloat over their conquest of the Hebrews and others. So here we are using pictures of Assyrian king Salamasa, black obelisk, Assyrian king Tilgat-Pileser, relief of his conquest of the city near the Sea of Galilee, Assyrian king Sennacherib's relief. So you have here all the Assyrian kings. The four pictures below are from the Assyrian reliefs. These reliefs are stored in the British Museum of London. Now, today many black men still favor the short hair and beard of some Hebrews. It is worth mentioning that the Hebrews were just as literate and just as artistic as the other black civilizations around them. The reasons that we have to depend on outside sources for pictures of them is because whites destroyed all the Hebrews what the Hebrews ever created, even down to the very religious writings that they claim to worship by. The fact is that all Hebrews writings, even the Septuagint, the original Bible, which was only rudely Hebrew, it was made for Greek king of Egypt Ptolemy Philadelphus, had been destroyed, everything except the Dead Sea Scroll, which were found in 1947 in Qumran, a village situated about 20 miles east of Jerusalem. The scrolls are under the joint custody of the Catholic Church and the Israelis. The translated contents of those scrolls has never been made public and probably never will be. No doubt the differences in teaching and facts would be irreckonable. A few inconsequential snaps have been made public. The entire scrolls is a huge work which contains the entire Old Testament plus many other works. Now we will learn about America's white Jesus is a global export and false product. So, what color was Jesus? Most American Christians, black and white, would dismiss this question and both irrelevant and unwaverable at the gospel fail to give us a physical description. The irony is that the most of these same Americans in their heart of hearts are pretty confident anyway that they know what color Jesus was. They attend churches with images of a tall, long-haired, full-bearded white man depicted in stained glass. Now, windows are painted on walls, and they return home to the same depictions framed in their living room or illustrating their family Bibles. Further, compounding the irony is the fact that America actually has an obsession with the presumed color of Christ and has exported her white Americanized savior around the world. And that's why also America and the false Jews will bring the false Messiah. This is it. Because all in America are so-called Christians, etc. All in Germany are so-called Christians, but if they are Christian, who are we then? Because even here you can see that the first Christians were black. You see, you could see how they have paid money with they have paid money with Jesus. You know, you see him here with the kinky hair, the woolly hair. You see here Jesus with woolly hair. This is it. So this is a big war here, because the white Jesus this will be his end now. Now, recently documented by Edward J. Bloom and Paul Hovley, in fact, the world's most popular and recognizable image of Christ is a distinctly 19th to 20th century American creation. It is true that the versions of the white Christ appears in Europeans' art as early the 4th century of the Christian era, but these images coexist with other non-white representations throughout European history. The popularity of the cult of Black Madonna and Black Christ throughout Europe is evidence of the fact that the Europeans' white Christs never accurated the authority and authenticity that the white Christ now has globally. This Christ and his authority are American phenomena. As a predominantly Protestant nation, early America rejected the imaging of Christ that characterized European Catholicism. By the mid of 19th century, however, in response to American expansion, splintering during the Civil War and subsequent reconstructing whiteness to on a new significance and a newly empowered white Jesus rose to prominence as the sanctifying symbol of a new nation, unity and power, as Bloom and Harvey observe. Now, as we know, Revelations is showing us that Messiah is not white, okay, and also Josephus had taught a lot of things. Now, the first century Jewish writer Josephus penned the earliest non-biblical testimony of Messiah. He reportedly had access to official Roman records, and which he based his information in his works, Halosis, or the capture of Jerusalem, written around 72 AD. Josephus discussed the human form of Isaiah and his wonderful works. Now, unfortunately, his texts have passed through Christian hands, which altered them, removing offensive material. Fortunately, however, biblical scholar Robert Eisler, in a classic 1931 study of Joseph's testimony, was able to reconstruct the unaltered testimony based on a newly discovered Old Russian translation that preserved the original Greek text. According to Eisler's reconstruction, the oldest non-biblical description of Isaiah reads as follows. At that time also there appeared a certain man of magic and power, if it be meet to call him a man, whose name is Isaiah, whom the certain Greeks call the Son of Man, but his disciple called the true prophet. So he was a man of simple appearance, mature age, black skinned, grows short, growth 3 cubits tall. So a bakung. Now, hunchback, progatos, lit with a long face, macropropos, what? A long nose, eyebrows meeting above the nose, with scanty curly hair, but having a line in the middle of the head. And this is fashion. Okay, me also, I had this kind of fashion before. And if you see the Toquish, all of them had this kinds of fashion before. After the fashion of Nazarenes with an undeveloped beard. Now maybe I can show you my books, then you can see that. Where are my books now? So here. I need a book cover. So many books to cover. It must be from this book here, but where's the cover of it? Normally I should show you that also with the Toquish fashion. It's a normal fashion in Africa. Let me check. Cross. Even Simon Toko had this hair. Okay, let me show it by Simon Toko. Here. Do you see his hairs? Here. He have here something like me also, my hairs was also like this. So this means it's a typical sub-Saharan fashion. Okay? A typical sub-Saharan fashion. This is that what Isaiah also had. Now, okay. This short black-skinned mature hand-baked Jesus with a unibrow, short curly hair, and an undeveloped bears no resemblance to Jesus. Christ, taken for granted today by most of the Christian worlds, the tall, long-haired, long-bearded, white-skinned, and blue-eyed Son of God. Yet this earliest textual records matches well the earliest iconographic evidence. Now, also you know that a man should not Let us read here. The earliest visual description of Jesus is painting found in 1921 on the wall of baptismal chamber of the house of Church Dura, Mark 2 and 12, is a short and dark skinned with a small curly afro, see below. So now these are the paintings that you will find everywhere all around the globe about the man that we call Jesus. Because the problem here is, if people say there was no Messiah and something like that, the problem is it's against history. You know, it's against history. This is the problem here, because you can find this man everywhere. This wall painting, I'm here now, depicting the healing of paralytic, is the earliest known representations of Jesus, dating from about 235 AD. The painting was found in 1921 on the left-hand wall of the baptismal chamber of the house church at Dura, Europopos. Now you have even more pictures about him all around the globe, that he is the good shepherd, you know, and all these things. Now, of course, you will also find him. You will find certain people like Thor, or also you will find in Egypt. You will also find some other people that shows themselves that they also came like Messiah to the world. And yes, you will find this because similarities. Satan wanted always to show that he himself is the Messiah, but there are some things that I always say, believe in him in spirit. It's always better than if you believe in too much other things. Now as well, you can see here, let me make it a little bigger, other photos of him that shows him and his disciples as black people. You see, so he's everywhere shown as a black man in the catacombs of Rome and everywhere. Now, you see how our Samson and others were described, you see, as black people paintings. You see, the prophet Jonah, this right here is the prophet Jonah. Here, this is Samson. This is also the Messiah. He's making the resurrection of Lazarus. This photo here. Then you have in everywhere. This is not our. These are not our photos. You know, these are the photos of the Gentiles. They have it there. It's in their museums. You see, and it shows very, very well that they know there was a Messiah, and they know and they worshipped him before as a black man. And then you have also coins, Roman coins of Emperor Justinus II, depicting Isaiah Congo as a black man. You see his woolly hair, and you see his hand here, the hand sign, what they always try to show us. Yes. And here again, you see. So all this shows us very, very clear that we are on the right way. If we say that the churches should stop to worship a white man, and even if you should not worship him, he was only showing a way. And he said good things. He's a prophet, like the disciples described him. A prophet. You see? A messenger. He did his work. This is it. A son of man. We had a lot of son of man. We have a son of man today. He's just a messenger. Isaiah Congo. You see? Now, they made him to become a god. They made him white. And they came with him to Africa to deceive us. Now, As you could see, we have to go now to a little bit deeper to Revelations. Let us start, because we have so many things that we can describe. Yes, here they are starting to painting them white. You see the same images that I have showed you before. They have started now to painting them white. From here they have started to enlighten him, but here now he become completely white. And here again, the same photo as before, but with white people. Here you will see him as a white man. You see? Now, let us read a little bit. After their death, Constantine's daughter Constantina and Helena were buried here, since Constantina was venerated as saint. The mausoleum was consecrated as a church in 1254 by Pope Alexander IV. After the church was restored in 1620 by Cardinal Fabrizio Verali. Constantine's magnificent porphyry sarcophagus was moved to the Vatican museums. The church was originally a mausoleum. Santa Constanza mosaic. Santa Constanza is a church in Rome built under Emperor Constantine. In place of burial mausoleums of his daughter Constantina and Helena. Later, Constantina was venerated as saint with the Italian name of Constanza, and the church was dedicated to her. The church was built under Constantine, probably by Constantina, next to the cemetery of Saint Agnes. So they have started now to painting this kinds of photo and to whitewashing our history. You see? And this is very important. I have to write this down. What tacticals? It is like you can see how Caesar and all them, how they worked against us, and how they then you will understand why all this the photos and everything is made new. But we do not stay. We are not finished there. We will go now to the Black Madonnas. Black Madonna. But before the modern era of pathetic white racism, with its white fright of all things, black and black identity theft were Khazar Turks, are the new Hebrew and Osman Turks, are the new Berbers, Egyptians, Arabs, and Middle Easterners. Before every ancient black figure encountered in a museum or a book was explained away as a Nubian Ethiopian, a slave or a servant. All people knew Hebrews to be black people and despised them as black people. So the whole world knew that Hebrews are black people. And now here, this is very important. Race obsessed albinos are not only liars, they are also extremely stupid. Note in this side-by-side comparison from the Chartons Cadrial Restoration in France. So we call them today white, but normally they are albinos. And if we tell them that they are albinos, it will hurt them as much, because they are like, oh, we come from the blacks. Because today if you say they are white, it's like, oh, we are superior. They attempt to show the stark differences between the lighter restored part and the darker unrestored part. Problem is, the restored side it has lightning that the unrestored side doesn't. and most importantly of all, ceilings get most of the damage from candle use because obviously smoke rises. So they just want to trick us. You think they want to trick us. It's like, here this one is dark and this one is the true one. And now let us go to this. So you could also see that the Europeans always showed us a black Madonna. So we can talk and talk and talk. If you go to Poland and everywhere, and you start in Russia, in Rome, you start seeing the black Madonna, this means they know this history. This means they know there was a history of a man that was born. They know of Mary or Miriam. Miriam is a name from Africa, by the way. They called it Mary. And, they changed name, twisted time and places. But this does not change the story that all the history is true. This is the true history. That's why still today you will see evidences. Black Madonna. So, the Black Virgin of Montserrat, a copy at Barcelona Cathedral. The original is said to have been made by Saint Luke. Black Madonna of Czechoslovakia, Poland. See, you have this Black Madonna everywhere. You see, here, Cathedral of Notre Dame. You see, this Black Madonna right here. So why would the white man, now really, why would the white man take a black photo with a child and put it there and say, yes, this child and this Black Madonna, we should bow down in front of it? It's because they know, what the power is behind it. Because they know the history behind it. They know they comes from black. We are their ancestors. This is the truth that I wanted to show you tonight. That the white man is an albino. Is a black man. You see? Now, as you can see, that's why I love Michael Jackson so much. He has shown them that a black man like Moses, by the way, for some others, can become white, but a white man can't become black. Because melanin is power and wisdom, and it comes from the Most High, and this is the image of the Most High. He has melanin, and a white man knows that, and this is where we are going now, because many white people will recognize why the Most High has made us black. It has so many functions, positive abilities, and everyone wants to become black. As you can see, also, all knowledgeable black must have mused at one time or another. Church leaders must surely know that the Hebrews were black people. This Jesus was black. Okay? So how can they in good conscience allow them to be depicted as white? The reasons for that are, of course, complicated and racist. But here is how the popes deal with it in private. This is German Pope Benedict the 16th, and also Pope Francis. Yes, this is the new Pope, by the way. Now, you can see, that they know you black man. Now, you can see also photos, early photos. You will always see black people. Look, I don't know how I can make it a little bit bigger. Can I make it bigger? You see, these are black faces here. You see? And this is what they never wanted to show you. That's why we are going now to listen about the black popes. Because people does not know where Christianity really comes from. I have showed you in the start of this movie the cross, the paganism of it. And I showed you how they called it Ashtera. So also Christianity is not from the white people. Okay? Because now people are attacking me and saying, oh, why you are going against the Canaanites and all these things. The problem is there is a division in spirit. The spirit is dividing us. Isaiah comes to divide. All the prophets comes to divide. Read Matthew 13. My mission is to divide. I cannot bring people that are not from us into the kingdom. It won't work. That's why you see my channel has not so many channels like others. It can't be. I would be a liar if it would be like that. Yeah? And I really say that the most people that follows others, like, I follow him because he's doing good work, there is no spirit behind it. But if his spirit is behind it, many people would say, no, this guy, the things that he say is too complicated. I do not want to follow it. They will see a barrier because I come to choose by the power of the Ruach. Now we have also black popes. So all this black and white one day will become like because the white people, the Chinese, all of them comes from black. The only thing that makes them bigger is their racism. It's their racism, and it's only because they think we do not know their stories. If the history comes out who these people are, they will become so small. Because many of them are deceived as well. They do not know these things. Many black people do not know these things. Christianity is from the blacks. Now, according to albinism and their pronouncement from the Liber Pontificalis, three popes, Saint Victor, Pope Saint Miltiades, and Pope Saint Gelasius were Africans. The Liber Pontificalis is composed of series of the biographical entries which record the dates and important facts for each pope. It is the oldest and most detailed chronicle dating from the early church. The Liber Pontificalis is dated from the 6th century. The record of names begins with Saint Peter. As the work progressed, the entires became longer and more detailed. Now, if we go now to the Romans, I will make a special movie just to show you how many black popes, cardinals, and they started Christianity. So Paul did not go to white people churches in Greek. He did not go to Rome to white people. He was always going to black people. Now, if you can see it here, you have here some brothers and sisters. I do not know how if you can see what I see here, but let me make it a little bit bigger. You see, these are black faces. This is black faces. Now, Saint Clement is said to have known Saint Peter, Saint Luke, Barnabas, and even Saint Paul personally, and even traveled with them on several accusations. After Saint Peter and his two successors, Linus and Cletus, were martyred, he was obtained bishop of Rome and the third successor of the Saint Peter. or here, you see photos of black popes and preachers. This is Saint Benedict of Palermo. Look, completely black. So, the truth is that there was a time that black and albinos lived together. Okay? Black and albinos lived together. And the blacks ruled over them. No, this is science here, okay? I'm now not using here too much scriptures, because if I would start with this, bombs would fall. Okay? This is only science here, just to show you clearly that there is that the Most High want us to become a nation over all other nations. And we showed these people, we have shown them the Isaiah, we have shown them the scriptures, and they took it, twisted it, and won. They won all wars. After finishing the European blacks, they came to Africa to finish us up or down there, and everything was whitewashed. Now, it's a book. This is a book, like many other books. If you want, one day you can have it from me. By the way, it's also on my website. Thank you very much for listening. Like I told you, we are preparing now here. We are preparing here now to tell our people how they can become one. Because many people was attacking me, saying like, "Oh, I am not, I am against the Hamites, etc." Yeah, here as well, I showed you that I believe that in spiritual differences, and not only in colors, but many people won't understand that. I will show you 2 more verses in the scriptures. We are going to the book of Isaiah. Isaiah 40, 19 to 21. An idol, a craftsman cast it, and a goldsmith overlays it with gold, and casts for it silver change. He who is too impoverished for an offering chooses wood that will not root. He seeks out a skillful craftsman to set up an idol that will not move. Do you know? Do you not hear? Has it not been told you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? So, if you see people bowing down in front of cross, in front of the white Jesus, in front of the black Jesus, do not do the same. We are giving prayers to Tatanzambi Yamazulu only. We can say and honor the angels, Mikhael and all of them, yes. We can also tell them to helping us. But all honor goes to Tatanzambi Yamazulu. You can honor Isaiah. You can say, yes, Isaiah, the son of man. We had a lot of son of mans. You can say, Simeon Toko, thank you for everything that you have done for the the children of Jacob. This is how we speak. Okay? But you cannot go and bow down in front of a black Messiah because he was black. You cannot start taking his seeing him as an idol. But what we have to do is to show the world that he was black. We have to show the world that we are the children of Israel. Because salvation will come from us. So, 2 Corinthians 11:4. For if someone comes and proclaims another Messiah than the one we proclaimed, or if you receive a different spirit from the one you received, or if you accept a different gospel from the one you accepted, you put up with it readily enough. This means don't change your belief because other people comes and tell you you should go back to Egypt, or you should bow down in front of Baal because Baal has a lot of faces, okay? Or you should bow down in front of angels or Yesaya or etc. Do not do that. Do not receive the mark of the beast, vaccinations. Do not do these things. Believe in him. We have believed in a Yah that is, you can't see him. Let me give you the last verse to show you our belief. Okay? Because it is very, very important here. Now, this is Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 4. Let us start seventeen to 20. Now, the likeness of an animal that is on earth, the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the water or under the earth. And beware, lest you raise your eyes to heaven, and when you see the sun and the moon and the stars, all the hosts of heaven, you'll be drawn away and bow down to them and serve them. Things that Tatanzambi and Pungutulen has alluded to all the peoples under the whole heaven, but Tatanzambi has taken you and brought you out of the furnace of Egypt to be a people of his own inheritance, as you are this day. As you are this day. Tatanzambi, if you go into Romans 1, I told you I will not go too much to the scriptures because if I start then it will never have an end here. Now, Romans 1, just to show you some more precepts, okay, we are going to Romans 1, we are starting with verse 18, just to break this a little bit down here. Now, again, he will say the same things again what we have heard. You should not bow down in front of any animals, moon, sun. This is what the nations do. Every one of them do that. Chinese, white people, Hamites, Indians, the Indianos, even the people every one of them do that. But we should not do that. This is a warning. If they do that, it's because the Tanzania also say, I give it to them. They have to do it. It's for them. That's why they do it. But now look, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of man, who by their unrighteousness suppress the truth. What truth? For what can be known about Yah is plain to them, because Yah has shown it to them. For he is invisible attributes. For his invisible attributes. Yah is spirit. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, has been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the whole world, in the things that have been made, so that they are without excuse. For I thought they knew Yah, they did not honor him as Yah or give thanks to him, but they became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. And these people, claiming to be wise, they become fools, and exchange the glory of the immortal Yah. So he's not a puppet that can fall, or you can sell him, or you can sleep with him, like animals sleeping with cows and all these things, like the fullas, okay? No, that's why I make a separation between man, okay, and nations, because no. This is not the things that we have, our forefathers never showed us these things. It's for the nations. Every nation that is not Jacob do these kinds of things. Hallelujah. And exchange the glory of the immortal power for images resembling mortal man and birds and animals and creeping things. So Mami Wata and worshipping all this. Hey, come on. I have people here and everyone heard it. Mami Wata spirit, and here mermaid here, put the water here, do this in your altar. We heard it. Everyone heard it that knows my channel. Everyone heard it that we have even in our community people that do these things. Invoking spirits, dead spirits. We know it. No one can doubt it here. No one can doubt it. This makes no difference. That's why you see me. I directly say no. This is here and finish. Because we are not the same. Therefore, Yah gave them up in the lusts of their hearts to impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves. That's why they love to talk about sex, like sex is something normal for everyone, you know. Sex here, sex there. And because they exchanged the truth about Yah for a lie, and worshipped and served the creature rather than the creator, who is blessed forever. Hallelujah. Now, this is what I wanted to tell you. You should open your eyes. You should be a special people among the nation. Jacob should be a special people among the nation, and not like the nations. And Jacob always comes with, oh, we're all the same, we're all good, we're all this one. No! Stop it. Stop it, stop it. Jacob should wake up and starting only to seek in the Most High. Hallelujah. And this will be not easy. Thank you very much for listening. So, no white Jesus. No white Jesus. No Egyptian tombs. You know. No. Stop this. Just believe in the Most High, and you can't see him. You can't see him. He lives in you, and you are a part of him. And if you do everything correctly, then you will be called Zion, because he is in you. Thank you very much. Purify yourself. Find out what the Most High wants from you and your family, and he will tell you exactly who you are, because he lives in you. That's why he do not even want you to do anything with your body, because your body belongs also to him. People that talks sexual lusts, man with man, woman with woman, there you can see how they were deceived. And we, no one can deceive us. No one will take us away from this truth. No one. Because it has just begun. Kembo na tatanzambi ya mazulu. Kimfumu kwa kuyisa. Mfumu ya mtoto. Mfumu ya kinkaka zeto. Now, let us hear a little song.
Sika fio na
Thank you very much for watching.
kozanga koyeba ezali
I will
ndambo
see
ya
you
liwa.
soon.